yeah, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones.
Welcome to Game of Thrones Chat, Season 6, Episode 6, Blood of My Blood. I'm Dan and I'm unsullied. I have not read the books in the series Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin.
I'm Thomas. I'm double solid because I've read the books twice.
Blood of My Blood.
We see this episode starts with Bran and Mera. Mera is trying to pull Bran in the snow there on her little sled thing, and she's realizing that Hodor is really strong, and she is not.
Yeah, this plan is pretty bad. It's like pull Bran to the wall.
Well, the plan was not to die right now.
Well, she has succeeded in that.
And Hodor has saved them by holding the door, we say so.
Yeah.
So now they have to run away. But before anything else happens, we see a lot of flashbacks. We see Bran has apparently downloaded lots of information from the Werewood net.
Yes.
So he gets lots of flashes here of things that has happened or will happen or is happening right now.
Let's break them all down. This will probably take half of the episode.
Let's not take half the episode. I mean, it's just a few seconds.
But these are important, I think.
Okay, which one do you want to talk about first then?
You start.
Me start? Okay. So we see the Mad King, King Aerys. He's sitting there on his throne saying, burn them all. And we see his pyromancers is making wildfire. And then Jaime Lannister cuts him down, kills him, and sits on the throne himself.
These are new scenes, right?
Yes, these are new scenes, but we have, I mean, these events were mentioned partly already in Season 1.
Yes.
And then in Season 3, after Jaime had his hand cut off, he talked a lot to Brienne, and he talked about this stuff also.
It's fairly hard to see how this is relevant to Bran right now.
Maybe it's just random things that he downloaded.
Or
maybe. Well, he's also seeing a lot of
deeper meaning here.
He's also seeing a lot of White Walkers.
Yes, but in these visions of the Mad King,
yeah,
burn them all and wildfire.
Yeah. He's saying burn them all, and he's showing, and we're seeing wildfire, and he's seeing White Walkers.
So what happens if you use the wildfire on the White Walkers?
Maybe they will burn.
Maybe it will burn them all.
Exactly. Well, at least the whites. I mean, the zombies, the undead guys. They seem to be pretty susceptible to fire.
Yeah.
But the White Walkers don't seem to be that fragile.
But if there is a white army coming, then wildfire seems to be a pretty good thing to have.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've said this a long time before. You need fire against the whites. I mean, against the zombies, whatever. And then you need dragon glass against the White Walkers.
Yes. And there was also this wildfire explosion, right? That we haven't seen.
Yeah. But
was this from Robert's Rebellion as well?
I don't remember any wildfire explosions. I mean, Jaime stopped the big explosion of all of King's Landing.
So maybe this is a vision of the future.
Yes, or maybe it's... I was thinking for a moment, well, have you seen any big wildfire explosions? Well, we did see the big one back in Season 2, Episode 9, the Battle of Blackwater, yes. where Tyrion is used lots of wildfire to kill Stannis' fleet. We don't know if there's wildfire left in King's Landing or if Tyrion used it all, or maybe they can make more.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, more visions.
Well, we saw something that looked like a dragon shadow over King's Landing.
Oh, we've seen that before in another Bran vision.
Yeah, and also, I think in the trailer for Season 4, maybe.
Yeah, the vision was in Season 4, at least.
So it's a flashback to a flash forward or flash... We don't know if it could be a dragon from a long time ago.
And having seen this episode, it's very easy to assume that this is Drogon.
Yeah.
But it could be Balerion the Dread or...
some old dragon.
Yes.
And we also see young Ned Stark. And maybe we're going to see more of that, or maybe he's just remembering his old visions.
I do hope we get the second half of the Tower of Joy this season.
If we don't, well, we have to get it sooner or later. It's probably going to happen later this season. Otherwise, I'll be surprised.
Yep.
And what else do we see? Ravens. Yeah, he's the Raven now, and whatever. What else did you see?
Well, we see Bran's fall.
That's true.
An important event in his life. We see the death of both his father and his mother.
Yeah.
Of which he was he aware that his mother is dead?
Well, he's got so much information, so...
And now he knows, but he wasn't told in any normal way.
Yeah, that's true. He did see his father decapitated in a vision, but he never saw it himself.
Yeah, but he heard about it.
Yeah.
We also see a lot of hard home stuff. So I'm getting a feeling that he's getting information from the Night King have seen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it has some sort of connection to him after they touched.
Yeah, I mean, from the books, you got the feeling that what he really knew was everything that the weirwood trees everywhere sees.
Yeah, and there was no weirwood tree at Hardhome.
Yeah, so here he can see a lot more than just the weirwood trees. He can see everything or random everything. We don't know exactly how this works.
We also see Daenerys emerging from the fire from season 1.
I don't remember that vision, but it all went so fast I couldn't see everything. I went back several times and looked at it, but...
Yeah, you have to break it down frame by frame, pretty much.
Yeah.
We see the Night King turning Craster's last son into White Walker.
Yeah, that's from several seasons ago.
We see Robb Stark dying as well, so Bran is really telling you, everyone you love is dead.
Yes. But like the scene where he falls, that was like half a second instead of a tenth of a second or something.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was... I mean, when he was told not to climb the walls, and he did, and he fell down and broke his legs. And then he was told not to surf the net while the Three-Eyed Raven is not awake, and he did that, and look what happened now.
Do you think the mark on Bran will affect the magic of the wall if he goes past the wall?
Oh, so if he goes south past the wall, the Night King can follow him?
Yeah.
That's possible.
So nobody should tell him to go to the wall, but somebody just did.
Yeah. Yeah, are we done with the visions now?
I think those are all of them. If
my point was that...
vision, please comment.
Well, my point is like... Bran screwed up again. This is the second time he screws up, at least. Well, the second time he screws up in a really big way, at least.
Yes.
And it's not the first time we see it. I mean, and like Prince Doran says, I believe in second chances, I don't believe in third chances. Or Jaqen H'ghar also says, a girl has been given a second chance, there will not be a third chance.
And Bran is already on his third chance.
Yeah, so now he had to stop screwing up.
Let's hope he does.
Like my sushi chefs around the corner said, Bran really needs to be ashamed. He needs to be humiliated. He's been a bad boy. He needs to be spanked or something.
Yeah, and maybe they now run into the person that could do it. But before they do, they have a tender moment there where Bran says, they found us. And it's like a handful of whites. So the pursuit is not very intently followed by the Night King.
But I was happy with this because it felt... I mean, when they tried to escape there from the door, I felt, well, there's so many zombies. They're going to go outside the door and they're just going to fan out and they're going to find them. They're not going to be able to get away.
And that's what they're doing. Why couldn't they just follow the tracks in the snow?
Bad weather, snowing, I don't know, something like that, maybe?
I'm having a little thought about that the Night King wants him to get away to break the magic of the wall with his mark.
Also, that's why I'm only sending some zombies.
Yeah, then it would be stupid to send like 15. That's probably enough to take them out unless something strange happens.
But I liked that they didn't just get away so easily because it felt stupid that it would get away easily because she can't move very fast with pulling him.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So that was good. And also, like, Hodor make this valiant stand. He sacrifices himself to save Bran. In a normal movie, it would be like, okay, so he made the ultimate sacrifice, then Bran will be safe. But he was like, no, just because you sacrifice yourself doesn't mean that everything will be good. It's just because you're a good person and make good things will not happen to you.
No, but you will be saved just enough so that a mysterious stranger can rescue you.
Yes, so we'll talk about the mysterious stranger later, I guess. Now we just saw that he had it looked like a magical flay, right? Because because it caught fire by itself, it looked like. Yes,
and pretty fantastic action here, I think.
Yeah, I think it looked like he had one of those fireballs that the children of the forest have, but he had it in a chain so he could reuse it.
Yeah, it looked like one of those things you have in churches.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that monks carry. But yeah, he turned it into a very nice weapon.
Yeah, and he showed that fire is good against the zombies.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that, and we'll move on to the next scene.
Okay.
Down in the Reach, where Sam and Gilly is visiting Tarly Hall with Sam's family. And they're greeted by Melissa and Tala Tarly, his mother and sister.
Yeah, they arrive at Hornhill, right?
Oh, it's Hornhill? Sorry. Yeah, okay.
This castle of the Tarlys.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's magnificent. It's enormous.
Yeah. Exactly. It's as big as Winterfell or something.
Oh, this makes Winterfell look like a shack in the woods. This is so nice. The Tarlys must be very well off.
It's probably not as defensible, but it looks really nice, and Gilly is really impressed.
But you don't need to defend stuff in the Reach for
because
the
there's so many of you.
70 years, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, you mean because there's no wildlings, or?
Yeah, it's pretty peaceful in the Reach, and the Tyrells are keeping everything in order.
Yes, they are ruled by the Iron Fist of Mace Tyrell.
Yeah, Mace Tyrell obviously didn't need to call his banners for his later plans in this episode because Lord Tarly has not gone to King's Landing.
Yes, we'll get back to that too, but that felt kind of weird. But we'll get back to that. Yeah, next scene we get in the High Sparrow and Tom and...
Wait a minute.
Okay.
We should talk more about the Tarlys and this family reunion thing.
We'll get back to that.
Okay, we get back to that.
Well, the next scene was...
Yes.
Yeah, the next scene is with the High Sparrow and Tom, and they're talking to each other, and then they're talking to Maggie. And it seemed like Maggie she has drunken the Kool-Aid, basically. She has been devout now. She's religious or something, or I don't know exactly.
Do you believe her?
No, I don't believe her.
It was... I don't watch previously on, but I've been told that the scene where she says to Loras that we must never give in, we must fight this, was in the previously on. So I think that... And Marjorie is a pretty good player of the game here, so I think she's very obviously lying to the High Sparrow. And he seems to have a naive streak.
Yeah.
And I think he believes her.
I absolutely think that she is using this opportunity to outmaneuver as many enemies as possible.
Yes.
So yeah, absolutely. I think that what will happen here. Yeah, we get back to that because then we have another scene where Gilly gets a makeover.
Very nice makeover.
Yeah, and then you have a very nice dinner with lots of laughter and everybody's happy to see Sam back. Oh, wait a minute.
So what were you watching?
Lord Randall Tarly, he said that he would kill Sam if he ever came back. So him being able to eat dinner with him is a great step, I think.
I love the way they did this because we knew from the very start of the series that Randall Tarly is a really bad person to his son. Yeah. And he was way worse, I think. He was really nasty.
Yeah, and we can see why Stannis likes this guy, even though he fought against him.
Yes, him and Stannis should get along quite fine.
Yeah, and they could have a triumvirate with Tywin Lannister.
Tywin would rule them all.
So we see here what we've learned before, that Randall Tarley really doesn't like Sam. And he says what a lot of other people have said also, like, how can you still be fat after all the ordeal up there?
I wonder when Sam's sister and mother met an Umber to discuss hunting with.
Yeah.
They said they met a Lord Umber, probably Great John then.
He must have been traveling a lot.
Whenever did Great John get anywhere near the ridge?
No, they go up to the north to hunt every fall, you know.
Okay.
No.
That seems strange. And this mention of the sword also seems a bit forced. Like, suddenly Randall Tarley just erupts into this explanation about his awesome sword. And given the rarity of the Valyrian steel swords in the show, this sword is pretty exceptional. Yeah,
it felt kind of random there. Maybe something will happen with that. But it's but on the other hand, it's the pride and joy of the family. I mean, it's worth as much as a castle, basically.
Yes, probably more. Maybe not as much as Hornhill.
Maybe not as much as Hornhill, but you could easily buy a small castle for it, I would think.
Like
you remember, like Winterfell. But you remember Tywin Lannister at the start of the whole series. He doesn't have a Valyrian steel blade in his family's possession.
Yes.
And he's really pissed about that. And I mean, he's the richest man in Westeros, but he can't buy a bloody sword because nobody will sell them, so they're priceless. They're really priceless.
Yeah, that means you should have some sort of security around your sword.
Well, who would steal their ancestral blade? Who would dare?
Oh, who would?
And so then from this, we go over to Bravos.
To this fantastic play, which I now hear will be available in its entirety on the season DVD.
So this is the spin-off that we're going to get.
Yes, so there will be extra scenes, as I understand it, on the DVD of this play. So, yeah, it's fantastic.
So Arya, or in this case Mercy is her codename, she loves this play now, where she gets to see Joffrey die. And let me see, Lady Crane seems nice to her.
Yeah, I think Arya, what has she really learned from her time with the Faceless Men? She's just bumbling around in there like, I'm going to poison this, but I'm not going to be fast about it. And I'm just going to hang around so everyone sees me.
Yeah. She picked up some tricks. We saw how she disposed of Cimmerian Trant last season.
Yeah, that seemed to be just hate. There wasn't any skill in it. She used the face and then she just attacked very violently. Yeah,
but I mean, she used a face for that.
Yeah, she should have used the face here too, but maybe she wasn't allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lady Crane seems nice, and they have a moment.
Yeah, and then I guess from this moment, then Arya decides that she will save her. She will not kill her.
I have a question for you. Who do you think is the person trying to poison Lady Crane?
Well, Arya thinks it's the woman playing Sansa.
Yes. Do you have any other suspects?
How about the waif?
That's interesting, but would they allow that?
Well, maybe the waif used a stooge to set it all up.
That's a nice theory. I have two more.
Okay, well, who are those then?
I think perhaps the owner, the boss of the theater company, he gives Lady Crane some criticism here.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to like her at all, so he's a suspect. But
couldn't he just fire her?
She's her best actor, so his best actor. So maybe that was stupid. Maybe he's training the young one to take over. So, but the next suspect is, remember what Cersei said in an earlier episode, that she ordered people to go out and find anyone who made fun of her and kill them.
Oh.
And Lady Crane is playing Cersei and making fun of her.
Is she making fun of her?
The play is making fun of her. Actually, the play is portraying Cersei pretty nicely, but the play in itself is not very serious. So if you're Cersei, you might think this is making fun of you.
Yeah, but I guess if you're Cersei, you have to be Cersei to think that it's bad, because
or an assassin sent by Cersei with pretty free rules. So, like, if you see anyone making fun of me, kill them.
They're getting paid by the kills.
Yeah, yes, and then you better kill someone so you get your salary.
Yeah, I really didn't get. I mean, it really felt like since Arya is pointing her out, it seems kind of going in that direction. But sure, we can't be sure.
And Arya is obviously not no one. She's still acting on her own morals.
Yeah, this goes back to what we saw the other episode where Jaqen gets her some water from that well and says, like, if you're truly no one, you will survive, or whatever.
Was he lying?
I don't know.
Why didn't she die?
Exactly. Why didn't she die? Either she just bluffed him, or maybe she bluffed herself. Or do you think that the water was poison? For anyone who isn't no one?
Maybe the thing we should learn is that Arya is now super good at lying, and that is what she has learned. And that is one thing she has learned in the House of Black and White.
Okay.
If she was super good at lying, maybe she could lie to herself so she would survive the poison.
So she is so good that she can convince herself.
But I think it makes no sense that she survived that poison.
Exactly.
Then she, at the first opportunity, just stops being no one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really takes away a lot from that other scene.
But I'm really questioning what skills she has picked up during this 1.5 season with the Faceless Men. Because we have seen her fight with sticks, use some poison, use a face.
Yeah.
But she's still very subpar to the Waif, as we saw in the fight earlier this season. So what can she really do? But now, now she is not no one anymore.
Yeah, now she's Arya. She gets a needle, and now she's probably going to have to fight the Waif.
And she should have no chance.
Well, I wouldn't say no chance. She always has a puncher's chance, I guess.
Needler's chance.
A needler's chance. Yeah. Never trust a needle.
I wonder where this will go. It's of course exciting, and this is a pretty terrible enemy to have. And now anyone could be the Waif.
But Arya does have plot armor.
Yes, she does.
Serious plot armor.
If this was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, the scene where Arya trained without being able to see would mean that she would face the Waif in pitch darkness and defeat her because of her awesome darkness fighting skills.
You're thinking about the movie Bloodsport then with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But I think this will have a better solution than that.
Why did I also think of that movie?
I have no idea. But I hope Arya gets away from Bravos and that the Waif will come after her. That will be very interesting. Oh,
so they will kill their way all through Westeros or something.
But I must question the fact that this powerful organization of 2 people, or hopefully more, is so important in Bravos. They even founded Bravos, or at least said they did in the last episode.
Yeah.
So they accept like random hits on actors. So if you just have some cash, you can kill anybody in Bravos. I feel that the people of Bravos would object to this. Yeah.
I mean, I thought that hiring a faceless man would cost you a fortune.
Or cost you something symbolic.
Yeah. Maybe there's some service that has been paid to the House of Black and White. Somehow.
But I also wonder what the relationship between the Faceless Men and other important things in Bravos are, like the bank.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Iron Bank. We haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, it made a lot more sense earlier when she got the contract on that money changer or insurance salesman. that felt okay. This is a bad guy. Okay, so the House of Black and White are killing bad guys. Oh, that seems reasonable.
Then you would wonder why anybody would be bad in Bravos if they knew that these super assassins would come after you if you were bad.
Yeah, well, there's
sort of doesn't make sense, but I still love the House of Black and White and stuff, and I am excited to see the Waif hunt Arya.
And in the next scene there, we see the Waif talking to Jack and Hagar, and we learn that they already talked about this before, and that he promised her that she would get to kill her if Arya messed up again.
Yes, this also makes me question the Faceless Men recruiting process. They have now spent 2 years or something about recruiting Arya. And does this happen with every new recruit?
well, not every new recruit, of course.
I want to see their bookkeeping. How many are there? How do they recruit people? I want to know more. And that's
Jack and Hagar saw something in Arya back in season 2 or season 3, whatever, when they first met, I guess.
Yes, so the recruiting process, he goes around and ends up in bad situations, get rescued, and then look for potential.
Has himself arrested somehow. How the heck they did that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. I hope we get to learn more about how they work.
Okay, well, let's move on to King's Landing.
Yes.
Where we see this big scene first we see Jaime and Mace Tyrell. And Mace Tyrell is bringing in a company of soldiers. Yeah, and
it is. These must be the Tyrell men, not their banner men. There are very few.
He was supposed to bring in an army, right?
Yes. So are we to assume that there are more soldiers behind them? Because we don't see many soldiers in the square either.
Yeah, they walk out into the square and it's like, oh my god, there's like 10,000 people there and then there's 100 soldiers.
Yeah, their urban warfare tactics is pretty bad as well. You don't march through narrow alleyways. The entire army coming down one alleyway. To be ambushed with their leader up front.
And then when they lock shields, everybody's pointing in one way. There's nobody protecting the rear.
Yeah, so the High Sparrow just needed a beggar at the city gate to know that this was coming. And he could have stopped them with an ambush if he wanted to. But I did love Mace Tyrell's outfit and his speech. Yes, Mace Tyrell, you're the man.
I loved the fact that at some point Olenna nods to Mace and Mace winks to his general, and the general commands the troops to stand down. Yes. It's like a very clear chain of command there.
Very clear.
And then when Mace goes, what's happening? Oh, we lost. Shut up, boy. I'll tell you later, basically. What Olenna said.
Yes. There were two spoilers here with Marjorie. That were giveaways that she would not do the Walk of Atonement.
Oh, we only saw one. What's the other one then, except for her hair not being cut?
Yeah, the hair not being cut was one. But there was also, at the beginning of every Game of Thrones episode, there is a nudity warning. If there is nudity in the episode.
Oh.
And there was no nudity warning.
Oh my god, no nudity.
No, so they should have had a false nudity warning for this episode.
Warning, there will be false nudity here.
There might be nudity, huh?
There should be a warning that there is no nudity.
But what a surprise for Jaime and Mace.
Yeah, they think they're going to fight a good fight, and then the High Sparrow is like, no, I have convinced your king, I've turned your king around. Now his Kingsguard is going to be carrying armor with a 7-pointed star.
And this makes me question Jaime and how good he is at his job, because he's the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. And he doesn't know where the king is, number one. He doesn't know that there are new armor, new pieces of armor. He doesn't know where the Kingsguard is. 2 guys are still missing, though. There were just 4 in this. So he doesn't do his job very well.
Yeah, I mean, the armor could have been made secretly someplace, but he doesn't know he should figure out where the king is before he storms the Sept.
Yeah, when you are about to start a civil war, make sure you know where the king is.
Yeah. So that, it felt kind of weird that way. But I did like the fact that there wasn't a big fight. Not that I don't like a big fight.
It was very surprising.
Yeah, because everybody, okay, so it's going to be a big fight, and we've seen from trailers, we've seen that okay, they lock spears, lock shields against the Sept and so on, but and no fight. And the Sept, I mean, the High Sparrow wins without a fight.
Well played.
Very well played. And then we see the next scene there where Tommen is putting his foot down and telling Jamie to go to Riverland. I mean, must be so frustrating. You've been telling Tommen for so long, like, be man up, make decisions, rule. And then he rules in a completely wrong way.
Yes.
Be careful what you wish for.
So does this now mean that Jamie is free from his vows?
If he's fired from the Kingsguard, that must be it, yeah.
So who is now the head of House Lannister?
Maybe it's Jamie then? Maybe it's Kevin? Maybe it's the strongest?
It seems that Jamie gets the Lannister army as well. So it appears
yes, as punishment.
Jamie.
As punishment, you're going to get the Lannister army and you have to be head of House Lannister.
Oh, that's harsh.
And go to bed without supper.
And Kevin seems to be buying this new order.
Well, he's realized that Tommen is actually going to rule now.
Which is good. I must question Tommen just hanging out behind the High Sparrow hidden until he's called forward. It seemed like the situation was pretty dire before and he just doesn't do anything, which is, of course, something he does very well.
Yeah. But
did you know?
But I mean, he's.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What? Notice what?
Did you notice that Marjorie's facial expressions before the big reveal? I got the impression what the hell are you doing? I got this. I figured this out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What I was going to say was that when we see that Jamie is sent away, it's like, okay, this is probably something that Maggie is happy about.
Oh, yes.
Because she wants to break down the Lannister power in King's Landing.
Yes, now she only needs to get Cersei away.
So she wants to be more influential on Tommen, and she thinks that maybe she can influence the High Sparrow. And if High Sparrow will influence Tommen, and Tommen will make their bidding. Tommen seems to be listening a lot to the High Sparrow.
Yes. So how long do you think this alliance will last between the king, the crown and the church?
It could last a long time, but if the High Sparrow, if someone were to kill High Sparrow, if maybe Jamie would get Bronn to kill the High Sparrow, that might break down the alliance.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, and Jamie says pretty much as that's what Jamie's thinking, right? When they have the next scene, the scene after this one.
Yeah, Mace was also accused of attacking the church.
Yeah, maybe he's sent away as well.
But there was no punishment that we know of.
Maybe there will be more punishment later.
Poor Mace. He was only trying to get rid of the madness.
And he got on his best Sunday armor and everything.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, next scene.
Next scene we have Walder Frey and his sons, or some of his sons. He has like 21 sons and 1 million grandchildren and children.
Well, one of these guys is the heir, right?
I can't say. There's so many Freys, and like half of them are called Walder. So
why do they dress like beggars?
Very good question.
They're lords of the Riverland now.
Very good question. It's not new either. They've been dressing like that for a long time. I don't know what's going on there.
It's like fashion at the Twins.
But we learned a lot of other things. We learned that they have lost Riverrun. So this is confirming what Littlefinger talked about before.
Yes. Always
trust
Littlefinger.
Yeah, always trust Littlefinger. So we know that Blackfish took it back, and we know that House Mallister and House Blackwood has risen up. So and the brother of Banners is running around still. So we know that the Freys have really big problems controlling the Riverlands.
Yes.
So sending Jamie there probably makes a lot of sense.
Interesting. It seems that everything is converging in Riverrun this season. And maybe not
Yeah.
Winterfell, or maybe both.
But it seems that we will get to see the Brotherhood without banners, which is a plotline we thought was completely abandoned.
Yes, I love that. And I love
Yeah.
the mention of... all this information. Very good. Walder Frey.
Yeah, the Blackfish.
Welcome back.
And we get to see Edmure Tully also.
Yeah, this was weird for me because I also watched the show Outlander, where this guy plays a villain that is worse than Ramsay Bolton.
Okay.
He's incredibly evil. So I'm like, oh no, hide! It's that guy. But Edmure Tully is a wimp, so...
Well, I think of him as Edmure Tully and also as Brutus from TV series Rome.
Oh, that too. Yeah, great
where
actor.
Where he kills Julius Caesar, who is played by the same actor who plays Mance Rayder. So
Edmure Tully is being brought to Riverrun by the Freys.
So they're going to use... Yeah, I guess they're going to use him as a hostage then.
For the big Riverrun party that I expect in episode 9 or 10.
Yeah, so we're going to see hopefully Forrest O'Meara and Beric Dondarrion, and maybe we will get to see one of your favorites.
Which one?
Gendry.
Oh, that would be fantastic. You think he hooked up with the Brotherhood without banners?
I mean, he was hanging out with them before he was abducted to Dragonstone.
Liked them, didn't he?
Yeah, he wanted to join up with them, but then they sold him.
Oh, that's a great way to reintroduce him. Maybe he should be a bit bummed about getting sold.
Yeah, but I mean, where is he supposed to go?
To the Stormlands to rule the House of Baratheon.
Yeah, okay, so maybe we won't see him then. Maybe we'll get your way and we will not see him.
I want to see him, so please.
Okay, well, cross your fingers then.
Yes.
Then the scene after that, Jaime and Cersei is making out.
Yes. Well done, Jaime and Cersei.
Yeah.
And Jaime's great plan of sending in Bronn.
Yeah, it seems like a good plan, actually.
Yeah, I liked it. And he didn't need to go himself, so Cersei's argument against it doesn't appear valid.
Yeah. But Jaime is really using his head there. He's realizing, well, he could have done it himself before, but not now on anymore. So now he needs to hire other people to do it when he's just one-handed.
Yeah, so good mention of Bronn as well. So I hope he'll be back.
Yeah. And then next scene we have Bran and Mira, and they're hanging out with whom?
With Benjen Stark, finally!
The wolf pup, he's back!
Yeah, he's been gone. This is episode 56, and he went away in episode 3. So he spent 53 episodes elsewhere.
Wow. So we lose Hodor, then we get Benjen Stark instead.
Yeah. Wow,
and he's
Stark returns. We are up one Stark this season. That's so amazing. And down 2 wolves.
And we're up one hybrid White Walker zombie human Stark thing.
Yes, this is a book character, right?
I don't know. I think so, but I'm not sure.
They do refer to him as Cold Hands in the Inside episode, so I think it's we can speak about Cold Hands now.
Okay.
Without spoiling anything.
But the thing is, in the books, Cold Hands shows up much earlier, and he actually helps Bran and the other guys. He shows up on his huge moose, and then or elk or whatever, and he helps them to get to Three-Eyed Raven.
Oh, yeah.
So he shows up much earlier. But also, it's mentioned somewhere that Cold Hands is really old.
Yes.
Whereas Benjen Stark has not been lost for that long. So then the agreement was that, well, Benjen Stark cannot be Cold Hands. So maybe there will be both a Cold Hands and a Benjen Stark in the books, only we haven't seen the Benjen Stark in the books yet.
Okay, so, and I think George R. R. Martin went out of his way to state that Cold Hands is not Benjen Stark.
In the books, yeah.
Yes.
But maybe in the TV series they molded those two characters together into one.
Yeah, and I think it worked brilliantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good to see him back, and he seems to be undead.
Somewhat undead, somewhat White Walker.
Halfway there.
Half machine, half something else.
So those children of the forest could use Dragonglass to save him from getting turned into a white.
Which, of course, then begs the question, can they do this on a mass scale? Can they do this with other, or... Well, apparently they couldn't. If they could do it all the time, they would have just defended their cave that way. So
Yeah, they mentioned that the transformation was stopped, but I wonder what transformation, because all the people we've seen turned into whites, they have been dead and then raised from the dead as whites.
yeah, but he was mortally wounded, and then before he could die and turn.
All right, so well, I guess that works. It's
Yeah.
very good character now, and now he wants to get. He says that Bran will be ready when he fights the Night King.
Some hope.
Yeah, some hope. Very Aragorn-like, I think, in this scene.
Oh, so he's Aragorn. Okay.
Undead Aragorn, which kind of feels like George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, he just needs a very staunch view on trade, on the trade situation, and then we'll be fine.
So are they now going south?
I guess you'll have to ask Benjen Stark then.
Okay, a little bit interesting to see where they go.
Yeah. No, maybe they'll go north, or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe to the place where the White Walkers are made. Destroy it. Throw in the ring. Okay. Next scene.
Next scene, we have Dan and Dario riding ahead of the giant Kalasar that she has now.
Yes.
And then Drogon shows up, and she gets on top of Drogon and gives a fanatic speech.
I did love this speech because it recalled Khal Drogo's speech from season 1, and that speech was just fantastic.
I've heard several people referring to this as Hitler at Nuremberg, almost.
Yes, so she seems to adapt the Dothraki way, and that Westeros is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so she's not going to be gentle when she invades Westeros, I think.
You don't have to ask what Drogon was doing all the time since we last saw him, because he was eating steroids. He was eating everything and drinking Gainer, and he's enormous.
He's eating other dragons. And
He's 10 times the size he was last time we saw him.
it's pretty big. That's good for her.
So this really gets me to wonder how big the other dragons are, because they didn't seem that big.
Well, now they have been unchained, so they might be able to grow, but I think they're still indoors, although we don't know really.
And if they are this size, then they shouldn't be able. They should just be able to walk through the walls of that place they're kept in.
Well, we still don't know. I mean, there might be weak spots on the dragons, though.
Yeah. I have to mention the reference to the boats.
Yeah.
Because it's so incredibly convenient that she needs 1,000 ships.
I don't think she needs exactly that.
Yeah, and Euron Greyjoy is building 1,000 ships. And if he has the help of some of the artisans we have seen that does amazing quick work in the series, they could be ready just in time. I wonder, how does she know that the fleet in Marine is destroyed? Because she seems to know that.
Yeah, but it might also be that she knows that the fleet in Marine is not big enough.
Oh, that might be it. Was it maybe just 100 ships or something like that? Yeah.
But also, to give them a little bit of credit, Dario says that we need at least 1,000 ships. But 1,000 ships, I don't think anybody... I mean, it's like saying, we need a lot of ships.
Yes.
I think Euron wasn't really saying, build me exactly 1,000 ships. He just said, build as many ships as you can before the season's end, or something.
So I still wonder what Daenerys will do about the cities of Slaver's Bay. So will the rest of the season just be the Dothraki horde pillaging through the other cities?
Burn them all!
Keeping Marine?
Yeah, but, I mean, are she going to kill everybody or just the masters?
Or is this plan of Tyrion's going to work?
I believe more in that plan, but it might be that she goes back to Marine and he's like, yeah, I have a good plan there, everything is happy. She's like, burn them all! Burn them all!
Yeah, I think it would be interesting if Daenerys turns gradually into her father.
Yeah. That's, I mean, like, I think Cersei talked about this before, like, or maybe it was someone else. Like, half of the Targaryens get crazy, or the other half are good, and that's what incest does to you or something.
And we just hope that she's one of the good ones. She seems pretty good so far.
Yeah, let's hope so.
But if she is corrupted, that would be a pretty interesting storyline.
Mm.
Okay, we've been accused of having too long episodes, so now I'm gonna talk more.
Who said that? Who said that?
Somebody did on Facebook. You can reach us at Facebook. Game of Thrones chat. Yes, search for it on Facebook, and we are there. We're also on Hard Nerd Cafe on YouTube. Okay, some random facts here from the episode. Gilly changes her clothes for the first time in this episode since she was introduced. That makes Hannah Murray, the actor, the actor has gone the longest without a costume change.
Wow.
In the
How long
whole
is
series, because
the whole series?
Yes.
Wow.
Arya went as a peasant boy between the end of season 1 and mid-season 5.
Okay.
Sam and Dolores Ed they wore Night's Watch uniforms, of course. Grandmaster Pycelle has also worn the same costume. So you have to discount like the people with uniforms. And that kind of a uniform is the official uniform of Maester. But
like Grandmaster Pycelle, so he has his big robe. Does he have several robes that looks exactly the same?
We've seen him get dressed at least, so we must assume he has more than one.
I mean, I assume they have a wardrobe with more than one, or I mean, at least Gilly should get to wash her clothes in between seasons or something.
Yeah, the only character that's worn clothes as long but is now gone was Hodor.
Mm-hmm. This gets me thinking about like the TV series Lost, where they also wore the same clothes a lot because they didn't have any other clothes on that island.
Yes.
And they would have some, I mean, and they were supposed to look dirty, so they would have these shirts. They call them hero shirts. Like, okay, you wore this shirt on set every day for like 3 months, and they couldn't wash them because they had to be that dirty. So it's really painful every day. Oh no, I have to put on my hero shirt again.
Disgusting. We forgot to talk about Sam stealing the sword.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's my bad. Yeah, so after they storm out, his mother and sister, I mean, they came there to try to convince his lord father that Gilly could stay and that they would raise Sam as his bastard.
Yes.
And hopefully Randall the Lord would not kill Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, mission accomplished. He survived.
Yeah, no, I felt that he was that weak during the dinner because this was his old nemesis, his father, but he also had this plan in mind that he had to put up with this so that Gilly and little Sam would be safe. But then that's all out the window.
I mean, if this was really the best case scenario for him, if he would have contemplated this before and he would have realized this is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
So, and now it's like, no, I'm going to throw that out the window. I'm going to steal my father's sword. And I'm going to run away. And he will never be able to catch him because he only has thousands of soldiers. And he's a great hunter.
Where will he go?
If he goes to Old Town, they will find... I mean, they know where he's going.
Yeah.
What is he thinking?
And he is pretty much... He has been ordered to go to Old Town. So not going to Old Town breaks his vows. And he is not... He is doomed.
So if he goes back to the wall, they'll be like, why are you coming back to the wall? If he goes to Old Town, they will find him there. Is he just going to roam the roads? He's going to be a highway robber now with a Valyrian steel sword?
Is he going to go to River Run? Just because everyone else is...
Did you get the feeling that he was going to sell the sword?
I have no idea. It felt so out of character. And
yeah, because he may be a coward, but he's not stupid.
Yeah, so hopefully he has a plan.
Yeah, let's hope that he has a really good plan. Otherwise, he will be completely out of character.
I think I overestimated my ability to talk more, so I think I'm done now.
I heard that there's 5 people on the show that are paid the most. It's like someone asked who's paid the most. Well, 5 people are paid the same, and they're paid the most.
And those 5 are?
Well, would you like to venture a guess or 5?
Didn't we talk about this before? Or maybe
I thought we talked. I think we talked about who had appeared on the most episodes,
Okay.
or
I think it's Jaime,
uh-huh,
Cersei,
correct,
Tyrion,
correct.
Kit Harington.
As Jon Snow,
Yes.
correct.
And who would be the fifth?
That's the easiest one.
Arya.
No,
No, she's too young. Sansa?
no, the easiest one.
The easiest one. Daenerys.
Yeah.
All right. So how much are
Right
they
on.
paid?
I don't remember. I think I heard like 300,000 per episode, but I'm not. Don't quote me on this. Why don't you post in? If anybody knows, why don't you post this in the comments? How much they're making per episode?
More than we are making, I'm sure.
I think I heard 300,000, but I might be completely wrong.
And we are making at most 200,000 from this episode.
Per season.
So that's all we had this time.
Gold dragons, that is. Yeah.
I would love your feedback, listeners. So you can comment on YouTube at Hard Nerd Cafe or on Facebook. And we very much like to know what parts you like of the episodes and what part you feel that we should cut. So any feedback is welcome. And please give us iTunes reviews on iTunes as well. That helps people find us. I just have to figure out how to read American iTunes comments. Because right now I have an American reading them for me. And
Because you don't read American?
no, I don't know how to find them. When I look at the comments, I just found the Swedish reviews.
Okay.
But I'm sure there is a way.
If there's
But
a
I
will,
wonder
there's a
if
way.
you get like reviews from Belgium or something. How do you find them?
Huh.
So
Wow.
that's the world of podcasting.
Yeah. Okay.
So 4 episodes left. I love this season. I think it could be the best
Let's hope so.
if they finish it correctly.
Yeah.
Speak to you
Good
next
stuff.
time.
Talk to you too.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of fucking Thrones. Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones. There are swords and things doing lightning tricks, and they'll take you out if you try to beat them. They'll kill you and stop you and make you Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones. In the lightning they come to take on everyone, and you know it's the Game of fucking Thrones.